Hello, and welcome back to Sharing a Chapter a Day. This is me, and today I will be reading Chapter 134 of Engagement in Peril by Dara Odoe. Chapter 134 is titled Lilith Accuses Shinshin. That following year went smoothly for Shinshin. He had found love, had a love life for once, true love he had thought, and he cherished that whore Delilah dearly. He had devoted and given all his time to Delilah, and she meticulously took advantage of his giving heart. He spent for hotels and trip expenses on her for the holidays they shared. They had begun to fancy nice expensive restaurants as well, more often now, and he had practically given his entire life then, soul, and even his spirit to her. Shinshin was devoting himself to Delilah and gave her all she wanted and desired of him. That year went smoothly all the same. In that summer, fall and winter, and even the early spring in that next year, but that too would soon come to an end. In the early summer of 2007, just before the CEDE testing was about to resume once again like clockwork every summer months for the Cherry Pineapple Grove School District, and Shinshin had already been assigned a team to run, mainly of people of his choosing. That's the kind of pull that Shinshin had with the school district then, and of course, Delilah was going to be on his team once again, and his previous tester had requested to be on his team as well. And Shinshin had been with Delilah for about a year now. Her mother had some suspicion of Shinshin and Delilah's relationship, and she wanted to end. She figured a way to try to prevent the two from seeing each other. Lilith felt that Shinshin is no good for her pampered daughter, for she thinks that Shinshin is too poor and won't be able to provide for her and her so-called blessed child. Lilith felt that won't be able to make her and her conniving daughter materialistic happy. Lilith had decided on trying to hurt Shinshin through his work. She had visited the CPU SD Human Resource Department and filed a sexual harassment complaint against Shinshin, who she claimed that while she was working for the research department under Shinshin together that past fall season, that he had the tendency of staring and googling at her and making her feel uneasy, uncomfortable, and that his behavior scared and intimidated her. Her accusation and filed complaint against Shinshin had to be investigated by the school district HR and its department. Shinshin was called, instructed, and advised of the accusation against him, and requested to come in to the research department to talk to with his supervisor about the matter of the charges complaint that was filed against him by Lilith then. The research department had the task of investigating Lilith's complaint and accusation against Shinshin. Shinshin was talked to and questioned by the CEDE coordinator and Rosemary, who was a research department supervisor at the time. They had already spoken to Lilith and gathered her statement and complaint against Shinshin then. They allowed Shinshin to read the charges against him, and then they discussed the matter with him. During his meeting with his bosses, Shinshin came clean with his supervisor about his relationship with Delilah, the daughter of Lilith. He explained that Lilith was complaining to them about Shinshin and is making these faulty charges against him because she doesn't want Shinshin seeing and dating her daughter any longer. Shinshin goes on to explain everything to them, how he had first met Lilith during his first summer of testing together, and how she had stroked his ego and arranged for the initial meeting of her daughter and him. And since then they have both taken advantage of him, and he feels that Lilith is just filing this accusation out of spite because her lovely child enjoys spending time with him. And Delilah has somewhat gone against her mother's wishes of using and leaving Shinshin. Shinshin went on to tell his supervisor of his and Delilah's relationship and all the trips and events they have done together so far. He showed them the pictures that he and Delilah took while on vacation and during his outing in Japan and other places throughout Southern California. After reviewing Shinshin's comments and rebuttal against Lilith's charges, The supervisor advised Shinshin that this is a confidential case and he has to keep hush-hush about the matter. They also advised him that they had already spoken to Delilah and that she had defended him against her mother's accusation. That Delilah had mentioned pretty much the same thing that Shinshin had told them about the relationship. So on Shinshin's behalf, Delilah was on his side for once. After several weeks or so, and after the school district investigation was done with and finalized, they found no means to charge Shinshin with anything. They gave him a slap on the wrist and simply warned and reminded him to watch his back for people like Lilith and those individuals who gets involved with in those he get involved with at work. That he had to be careful of his position of authority and supervision and watch out for people that they may take advantage of his giving heart. This his supervisor had recommended to Shinshin as part of their advice and lecture. They reminded him that relationship in the workplace is frowned upon by the school district and that he should be more careful about being nice to people that work for him and under him. Shinshin listened and took his advice to some degree. He was so stuck on that whore of a bitch Delilah, he can't seem to think straight or live in a world without her in his life then. Shinshin was also reminded that he is one of their best worker, and that his team is always the best since they were involved with the testing of minority students with the CED for the state of California, and that the testing department doesn't want to lose him as a worker and a team leader, and just hope that he is more cautious from now on about those who will be working with him in the present and the future. So then again, he got his same team back without Lilith, of course. She was no longer allowed to work for the school district then. Thank you for listening. This is the end of Chapter 134. Be on the lookout for Chapter 135, titled Delilah's Real Father Revealed to Shinshin. This is Do, Ra, me, and I'll see you later. Thank you.